Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Boy, do I have a great palette review for you guys. I was really excited to purchase this eyeshadow palette. I don't keep tons of eyeshadow palettes on hand, just because usually the ones that I tend to buy have a little bit more pricey, and I want to get the biggest bang for my buck. And I want to be able, if I'm going to purchase an eyeshadow palette, I want to make sure that I can do multiple looks with one eyeshadow palette. So if I'm going to spend the money, I want to be able to not just be like one look and done. So I purchased the Laura Lee palette, Nudie Patootie. This is Laura Lee. She is a beauty blogger, YouTuber, younger girl, lady. She's absolutely gorgeous, very, very talented with her makeup, her knowledge of makeup. She partners with Morphe a lot, and she has her own company, her own brand, as it were. She put out a palette before this. She loves cats, so it's called Cat's Pajamas. I did not purchase that one, but for various reasons. But this one, when she brought it out, I was like, yes, that is for me. I can do multiple things with it. It's worth the spend. The quality is very, it's excellent. So her packaging is very classy. Her trademarks on the back, or rather her brand name. I'm not for sure, how you say which one is which, if this is her trademark or if this is her trademark, but it's all her. The palette's has some good weight to it. It doesn't feel cheap. You get a huge mirror, and this is the palette. 14 shades. There's great mattes in here for transition colors. You can see that there is brow bone highlighter in her corner. She mentioned this color. She said she listened to her subscribers. One of the biggest things they wanted in a palette was a brow bone highlighter, inner corner highlighter. This thing is quite amazing. You can see that the pigmentation is awesome. I've used this palette. It wears all day. I'm going to do a different look for you guys today. This is completely great for mature faces, in my opinion, because of the colors, because of how they go onto the face. You can do quite subtle things with it, or quite bold evening looks if you want to go on date night. I just think, and she specifically mentioned in her video that she designed the palette for everyone, and she specifically said mature, whether you're more mature or young, you should be able to use this palette. And I totally agree with her. And since I'm mature, I really think this palette is excellent for the mature face. Especially, I wore this palette to work. And it was just, I made an everyday eye look with it. It's totally easy, blended easy, worked well, minimal kick. Of course, kickback doesn't really bother me. Minimal tiny, there was really no fallout on my face. And if there was, you just sweep it away and just be prepared if you're gonna think that you have fallout. The more she recommends on these glittery shades that you either wet your brush or you use a glitter glue. Like I'm always showing you guys, I use the glitter glue. It's inexpensive thing to have around. It does so much for your ability to be able to work with shadows or shimmers or glitters or, sparkles, to not have it around. I always recommend that you purchase a good glitter glue and just keep it in your makeup bucket routine. I have buckets, nothing super duper fancy, but as you can see, I was at the barn yesterday. Could you guess? And of course, inhaling the footing, the cedar, blah blah blah, which always leaves me the next day with nice big swollen passages and eyeballs. Yay. But I can't give up my sport. It's like in my blood. I trained so hard to be able to do it, and I just love it. So the side effects that I don't love, I just live with. I make sure I'm eating clean, which helps your inflammation. I'm on my apple cider vinegar, helps your inflammation process. If I didn't take care of myself the way that I did, all this would be much worse. Gonna use osmosis. Are you shocked? I'm gonna dab it on. I had an unexpected day off today, so I'm spending it with you guys, well, part of it, because I really enjoy it, and I just thought this palette was so worth the review, and I wanted to pass along the information, so if you guys wanted to give it a look, you could. I had my eyeshadow on yesterday till 9:30 at night. It went on at 6:10 as per usual. I did not have one crack or crease in it. It wore beautifully all day. It was one of my favorite work looks, if you want to put it that way. I actually I did use this on my brow bone, which this is called Stark. I used Undressed as the transition. I went to Reveal as a transition. Streaking as transition. I used Reveal as start darkening up my outer V. I even went clear over here to Buck Naked, and it just turned out so well. And what I used as my shimmer was Uncovered. So I used this all over the lid. It looked gorgeous. It wore really, really well. She just really did a great job on the formula. I absolutely love the formula. It's a job well done. I believe she worked really, really hard, to bring the product out and to us, Osmosis Concealer, because can't live a day without my Ride or Die concealer. Started putting a little bit around in those areas. Seems to be working well for me. You know, one thing I always would forget to make up is this right here. I was actually studying makeup videos. Whew. Are you shocked? And I saw someone else doing that, and I was like, huh, maybe I should do that. So I've been doing it, and I think it really gives your face just a little bit more dimension. I know I say that all the time, but I can't stress enough. Dimension in your face helps you not to look as old, brightens it up. Now I'm going to use my Morphe Beauty Sponge Blender. I love the flat end. It really fits right up against where you want it to be. And it really does the trick. Absolutely love it. Let me see myself up close and personal. Just tapping my finger on where the sponge didn't get. And since I'm a little more redder today, I'm going to add just a little bit more coverage. Just all of these osmosis products build very easily. They're very buildable, works very well. If you feel like, oh, I want a little bit more coverage today, or I want a little bit less. I would always say these osmosis products are medium coverage, but very buildable to full. And a lot of days, your full coverage girl has just been letting it be medium. I've just been kind of okay with it, having the less coverage. Now, pressing, still doing this little trick here before I powder. I just think it's solid, really works for making sure you don't have any creasing before you powder. Just putting on my Tarte Amazonian Clay Smooth Operator. And I'm not powdering in or powdering down. It's a very light. I don't want to be just caked up. So I always powder my under eyes very lightly. Okay, my eyebrows are on, which is why I look like Annie. I think I'm getting used to my Invisalign, but it's still a lot. The in and the out, to eat or to drink anything with color. Thank God I don't drink anything with color past 10 in the morning. That's always been my rule for quite a long time now, probably a year. Well, actually, probably like a year and a half. So, if I want to drink my decaf tea, anything, I have to take my Invisalign out. So, I'm a great water drinker anyways, but this whole, in, out, it was hard. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's not the most convenient thing. When it's time for lunch, I fast in the mornings for the most part. So I'm fasting about 17 to 18 hours, 4 days a week. This is my NARS Light 1 Chantilly. The same thing I always set my eyes with. This is another reason why my eyeshadow does not fall off my face or crack or move around. You can try any kind of product you want, basically. You could try to use your concealer to set in your eye. You just put it up here and powder it lightly. There is, conversations about Do you set your eye or don't you? Some people will have hard and fast. No, I do not set my eye because I want my eyeshadow to grab and be very pigmented. There's another train of thought as my train, which a lot of beauty people share, that they just lightly dust some powder on because they don't want their eyeshadow to grab. They want it to blend very seamlessly. So, I set my eye with some powder every single day. I'm going to go in with undressed and just wash it all over my eye. There's kickback. That's okay. It really doesn't say anything about the quality of the shadow. It doesn't bother me. Just be aware so you know how to work with it. Because if you dip in and then be like, oh yeah, let me put this, it'll just like go right all over your eye, and then you'll be sitting there blending for like 4 hours because a big glop just went right on your eye. And when your eye is set, it's on there. So blending is your friend. So let's move over to streaking. These are the mattes, and I'm still using my big fluffy. Still, I'm 100% sold on like the biggest fluffy brush you have in your collection to start your eye look with. It just gets you there, blends faster, moves everything together at a good speed. It's cuckoo time. And you know what time it is here in Missouri, don't you? We're going to go into stripped. And I'm just looking at myself just a little bit closer. It's so hard to try to put your eyeshadow on in the camera. It doesn't seem hard, but it is. It's just a weird angle or perception per se, maybe. Maybe that's a good word. The beautiful matte on here are very creamy. They go on like a dream. This is a very strong recommendation from me if you're in the market for an eyeshadow palette and you want one that you can get multiple looks out of. I recommend Nudie Patootie by Laura Lee. And if I didn't like it, I'd also let you know. If I, made the purchase and it was a big fail, I definitely would tell you. Because I wouldn't like it if it was a big fail, but I mean, you live and learn. Some things I buy are a fail. But I usually do all my research and study whatever it is that I think I need to buy, and then I make my decision. I'm gonna go in with Stark, and this is not a good brush for that. I just wanted to try it. Let me see which one I grabbed. This is a Morphe 506. I didn't like the way it was applying my brow bone. So I'm going to grab another one. I'm going to grab my usual brow bone. It's 213. And put her up. This guy just fits right in there. And you can't get around with not having these small detail brushes for the face and the eye. You get your monies out of them, that is for sure. Now, you see how I have like big lines and it doesn't look blended? Now remember, don't worry about when you're first kind of getting going, it does look like a hot mess. It really, really does. But you're going to be going in and blending and blending. Right now we're just putting on our colors, layering up. And of course the neighbors are mowing, sorry. And we're about ready to get rain, so I'm not for sure. Maybe they just wanted to get their mowing done. I don't know. Now I'm going to switch brush. I'm going to go down to a 513. And I think I'm going to mix a little of this bear color in, this pinkish color. I know it sounds weird, but pinks blend right into browns. It's because of the time of year. And I'm going lower on my eye. I'm going into the crease. So I'm moving down to put this color. Once I kind of get it in there, I will go back. And I'm going to blend with my big fluffy. This is a gorgeous color. First time I've used the bear color. Beautiful. This is a gorgeous matte pinkish color. Now I'm going to grab my blending brush. My favorite 535. I'm going to make sure there's no additional product on there. And I'm just going to blend. You can see my light is changing. Sorry, that's because the clouds are coming in and rolling around the neighborhood. Now you can see I don't have like doing, harsh transitions on my eye. So now I'm going to put on a little bit of glitter glue. I'm going to use my Too Faced as always. You just need the very smallest amount. It does not feel like you actually put glitter on, but it is a little tacky, and that's basically all you want to hang on to those shimmers or glitters. You can find this palette at lauralee.com. Or Laura Lee Makeup. Let's look at the back. I'm pretty sure it's Laura Lee, Los Angeles. It's amazing. You won't be sorry, in my opinion, that you spent the bucks. So, let's go in with, shall we be daring and use one of the high kickers or just this exposed? Let's look at them on a swatch, which you know me and swatches are Look at these colors. This is just freaking amazing. It is unreal. This one is exposed. This one is all natural. And this one is Jaybird. I mean, let's just go for it. I mean, we're here. We're having a talk. Let's just go for it. Let's use Jaybird. You know what? I'm going to apply with my fingers. Let's see how it goes. If we need a brush, we'll grab a brush. And it's applying gorgeously. I mean, come on with this palette. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Put it right down on my almost non-existent eyelid. And I have some fallout, so don't panic. take a brush and wipe it away with your powder that you'd already put under there. And if it sticks, I just use a little wipey. I just keep them around. I don't like to use them on my face that much, just because they're not organic. Any kind of wipes that you use, I mean, I don't even think I've seen organic wipes. I know they must, I mean, there's organic everything, so they've got to be out there. But wipes are well known for having massive amounts of chemicals in them. But this is a gentle for, sensitive skin. Okay, so I've wiped off my trouble spot. But I want to make sure that I didn't create any holes. Now, this is how you repair makeup. If you have a problem, don't panic. You can use powder to repair. You can use concealer to repair. You can use lots of things. Your beauty blender, sometimes if you just go like that, your beauty blender will just stamp it right off. And I'm using my beauty blender because I don't want to disrupt what's going on under my eyes. If you did get any creasing when you're fixing something, just moisten it back up with your blender and then repowder. Okay, we're good to go. So now I'm going to address my under eye. I'm going to switch brushes to a pencil brush, as I always do. I always work under my eye with pencil brushes. To me, they're the absolute best choice. Some of the smaller ones, the better. This is an E36. I'm going under here with Buck Naked. One of the mattes on the palette. I mean, this eyeshadow is just sick, guys. I mean, it is sick. Unreal formula on this. I mean, she just killed it. Just absolutely killed it. I know some people, everybody's different. And I realize some people wouldn't want to wear this kind of kicked up eyeshadow to work. Me, I would. I wear any kind of look, except for I just go easy on the mascara, easy on the liner. But shadows, I never wear the same color. I'm always switching. Is it a bold under eye, a smoky under eye? Is it a light day? Is it a dark day? Is it a pink day? Is it a brown day? I just change it up. Try to always stay in the routine that never wear the same thing over and over. Yeah, I get stuck in my ruts and products that I love. The parts I try to make sure I'm switching out are my colors. Or, like if I am going heavy or going light. Some days I'm doing a very light look, like beachy, like, hey, it's light, it's airy, like really kind of no makeup. I even go as far as doing a dark eye. But I always make sure that if I want to transition my look to nighttime, I just come home. You can come home on any kind of eyeshadow day and transition your look. That's the beauty about makeup. If your husband calls you at the last minute and says, oh, it's date night, you can come home from work and transition any look with eyeliner, mascara, lashes, darken up your outer V, and that'll send you right into night. Of course, I powdered in with my Hourglass. This is my Luminous Light. Now I'm going to switch to the Hourglass bronzer. I have so been loving these guys. I mean, this is another worth the spend. It's a pricey, tag. This one's Luminous Bronze Light. And I've just been loving the subtle, shimmery, healthy, just dewy look these bronzers from Hourglass have. It's not that I don't love my Too Faced, because I do. But this, if you're like worried about bronzing or kind of intimidated about bronzing, you've never bronzed, I would try, if you want to take the jump to try to frame the face and bronze for the first time, I would always recommend Hourglass, because do you see how subtle the bronzers are? Now, the Too Faced is literally in your face, and my cement bruise is really showing up today, but what can you do? It is what it is. It's very hard to cover up a bone bruise without making yourself look cakey. So I try not to go, super crazy about my bone bruise on my face. Oh my gosh, I was about ready to use my Osmosis Petal. Is that Petal blush? Peony. I am so stuck on this. The girl who doesn't wear the same blush color every day. I have been wearing this blush out every single day. So let me get into my Tarte blush palette, because I need to change it up. Oh my gosh. I mean, I have just been wearing that blush out, but it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's go in with Extraordinary. Apples. Right back into your bronzer, so everything is melded together. And some people don't use blush. I use blush every single day. I think it's a very great kind of tool in my arsenal. I don't want it to look like I just went, so that's why I always blend it into my bronzer. So I have transitioning colors that are making my face change in different colors. And I just think blush brightens up a mature face, gives us a little extra something something. I'm really into it, really love it. My hair is up. I'm so into the makeup today. I'm going to go train in the saddle later. And I'm going with these eyeballs. That is right. And I won't think a thing of it. I'm going to use some Tarte mascara. I don't know which one this is. Tartist. Been loving these samples I got from Tarte. When you order stuff, a lot of times they'll just stick free samples in, which I love. I really always feel like I'm getting a value, like, I know it sounds dumb, but I like getting the free little mascaras and such, because if I use the whole little free tube of mascara, that means I must have liked it. So then I probably will purchase the large size of the mascara. It's a beautiful mascara. Tarte company is very good at what they formulate and what they put out. In my opinion, we all have an opinion. I don't have, huge onic lashes. I used to when I was young, in my 20s and 30s. I had like 4 foot long eyelashes. But things change, and just like I have no eyebrows basically, and they all lost their color, my eyelashes aren't the same either. Now, on the days that I don't wear lashes, I like my eyelashes to look okay without the lashes. I do not wear lashes to work. For me, that's not practical. For somebody else, that might be totally practical. But for me, I just don't think it's practical. It's early in the morning, and it's very hard for me to think about eyelashes at 6 a.m. If I was getting ready for work in the afternoon, it would be so much easier. Now I'm going to do this last trick. And of course, I did not bring a lipstick or a lip gloss. You guys, I am going to do what's in my lip bag video just because I suck with the lip glosses and the lipsticks. And I need to get that on camera. I know, it's terrible. The other ladies I watch never ever miss a beat with the lipstick. And here I am just constantly missing a beat with the lipstick. I apologize. Now I'm going to use my Hourglass palette to dust my face. I'm all done. This is the ambient palette with 3 different shades. It's just a total must. Tap in. It's just giving you not much, just a hint. I mean, you're really not, don't go in hard or you won't like the way it turns out. I'm gonna let my hair down and go about my day. Let me see here. Look at that eyeshadow. Oh, for the love. And this palette is just striking. It is so easy to work with. It blends so well. I am just so happy I bought it. I'm gonna buy, just dip into stripped, tap off. Just do a little bit of blending right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, that's Laura Lee, Los Angeles. I believe I paid $43, I believe, for Nudie Patootie. It came right away. It's really worth it. Day look, night look, easy to work with. I believe beginners could easily work with this palette with the mattes. And like I said, if you're going to move into the shimmers, just get you a good glitter glue. That's very inexpensive, and it's a great trick to keep your eyeshadow on, and it doesn't allow it to fall like all over your face. Thanks for being here. Love you guys, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.